skills, making Dassault Aviation a unique player in the space sector. So we believe in synergies between space and aviation, and we believe these synergies will become increasingly strong, particularly to meet the growing needs of the commercial sectors. Many of today's space sector challenges are indeed those that aeronautics sector was able to address yesterday. That is what we did over this last century. I'm talking about reactivity, reusability, flexibility, reliability, and of course safety. And we believe that such vehicles, such space planes, is a smart and relevant solution to address these challenges. So space planes are indeed a missing asset of the global space chain value. I was just talking about technical challenge, but space planes also bring key operational capabilities, such as return from orbit, which is still poorly addressed today, and for which we need to come up with more innovative concepts. Because the need to down mass is going to grow, whether it's people with development of manned flights, but also microgravity experiments, lunar samples, and we're working on such concepts in Dassault Aviation, because tomorrow it will no longer be a question of returning passenger and resources or equipment in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but of operating on hourly schedules, returning as do airplanes at conventional airports and using existing infrastructures. So these are some examples of all the capabilities that can address such orbital space plane. I won't go, we don't have time, but it's transport, cargo transportations, manned flights, and in-service orbit, and a lot of applications. Regarding our skills are a continuation of aviation technologies. We are above all a global architect and system integrator, mastering all the key technological skills for design, development, testing, production, certification, support of complex air system. And we have extended these key aeronautical skills to the space domain as an extension of the flight domain, faster and higher. As conclusion, I will say that over the past 10 years, the global space sector has undergone an unprecedented transformation and expansion, and as a player in aerospace innovation for over a century, Dassault sees this transformation as a great opportunity. An opportunity to meet new challenges, to make space more accessible, more responsive, more safe, more reliable, and also less expensive. And we are convinced that we have much to contribute to this transformation, and we seize a real opportunity to develop fruitful
और चाहे किसी भी देश के द्वारा संचालित किया जा रहा हो, मिशन के निश्चितता और अनिश्चितता के बीच बहुत ही महीन अंतर होता है, जिससे एक मिशन सफल या असफल होता है। लेकिन ना हम थके, ना हम हारे। हमने अपनी पिछली कमियों को सुधारते हुए आज पूरी तरह से आश्वस्त किया है कि लैंड मॉड्यूल निश्चित तौर पे चंद्रमा की सतह पर सेफ और हमारे लैंडिंग करेगा। हमने अपनी पिछली कमियों को सभी दर्शकों के जानकारी के लिए अब हम इसरो के अब तक के सभी लूनर मिशन की संक्षिप्त विवरण प्रस्तुत करेंगे। जी हाँ, इसरो का पहला मून मिशन चंद्रयान-1 अक्टूबर 2008 में PSLV रॉकेट के द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था। चंद्रयान चंद्रमा के सतह पर पानी की खोज करके पहले ही इतिहास रच चुका है। यही कारण है कि आजकल विश्व के तमाम अंतरिक्ष वैज्ञानिक और स्पेस एजेंसियां चंद्रमा को और करीब से जानने के लिए उत्सुक दिख रही हैं। अगर हम बात करें चंद्रयान-2 की, जो इसरो का दूसरा मून मिशन है, जुलाई 2019 में इसरो के सबसे ताकतवर रॉकेट LBM-3 द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था। और आज भी लगभग 4 साल बाद यह चंद्रमा के 100 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट में घूमते हुए बहुत ही उत्तम क्वालिटी का डेटा प्रदान कर रहा है। मिशन के प्रारंभ में इसकी आयु 1 साल निर्धारित की गई थी, परंतु LBM-3 द्वारा बहुत ही सटीक इंजेक्शन और मिशन मैनेजमेंट की वजह से चंद्रयान-2 काफी लंबे समय तक कार्यरत रहेगा। अब तक चंद्रयान-2 चंद्रमा के लगभग सभी भागों का चित्र ले चुका है। इसका एक
So
बहुत
these
ही
are like
महत्वपूर्ण
cool
पेलोड
design, but
OHRC
probably you want to know
यानी
where
कि
we are today.
ऑर्बिटर हाई
So
रिजोल्यूशन
we started
कैमरा
working in September
विश्व का सबसे
21.
बेहतरीन कैमरा
Today
है
we're actually
जो कि
82 employees
चंद्रमा
because
के
we
सतह
grew
का
since that
लगातार
slide,
पिक्चर भेज
so
रहा है।
since last week.
अब
We've
मैं
raised
आरुषि
around
जी
about
से निवेदन
55
करूंगा
million
कि
euro,
वो
which
आप
is a
लोगों
record
को
in
इसरो
Europe.
के वर्तमान
We
मिशन
closed the biggest Series
चंद्रयान
A
3 के
ever
बारे में
raised in Europe
बताएं।
by a space company.
अभी
That's
आपने
when there were
मिश्रा
war
जी
in
के
Ukraine
द्वारा
and
सुना
double-digit
इसरो
inflation.
के अब तक
And we
के
are
लूनार
flying
मिशंस का विवरण।
this year in October
अब चलते
together with
हैं
India.
टुवर्ड्स
So
चंद्रयान।
thank you then to Radhakrishnan for the excellent cooperation that we've been able to set up with him. So we fly our first baby capsule second week of October, and it will be launched by PSLV. And in 24, we fly our subscale vehicle that will be launched by SpaceX. I want to show you some cool hardware picture. So you can see that this is real, actually. You see on the left-hand side our baby capsule that will be launched here from India, second week of October. You see in the middle the mid-size capsule, which is currently in the manufacturing process. On the bottom of the slide, you see our new integration room in Germany, and you see on the right-hand side the two in-house engines that we're developing in-house, green propulsion on the one hand, and oxygen
नमस्कार,
methane for
इसरो
landing
के इस
at lunar
महाअभियान से
surface.
जुड़ने के लिए
And as
आप
a
सादर
conclusion,
आमंत्रित हैं।
I would like to thank again
मैं
India for
पद्मदेव
this
मिश्रा
amazing organization
अपने
and for giving me the
को-होस्ट
opportunity to
श्रीमती
present to
आरुषि
you the
सेठ के
Exploration
साथ
Company,
आप सभी
as well
को
as for the great
और देश
cooperations
विदेश
that
से
we can
जुड़े
launch
सभी
together
दर्शकों का
this year,
हार्दिक
our first
अभिनंदन
baby
और
capsule,
स्वागत करता हूं।
and for the cooperations to
23
come,
अगस्त
among them a
2023
strong
आज की
cooperation
शाम
for the parachute
इसरो
and
के
more to come.
वैज्ञानिकों
Thank you for
और
your
सभी
attention.
अंतरिक्ष वैज्ञानिकों के साथ लैंडर मॉड्यूल को चंद्रमा के
Thank you
सतह
very
पर
much,
उतरने
madam.
के
And with that, I'd
ऐतिहासिक
like to
पलों को
invite
देखने के
Emilia
लिए
France, Mr.
तैयार और
Philippe
उत्सुक
Gauthier.
हैं। जी हाँ, इसरो के गौरवपूर्ण इतिहास में एक और अध्याय जुड़ने जा रहा है।
Good afternoon, everybody.
और आज हम सब लोग इसके
Thank you
साक्षी
very much
बनेंगे।
to give us the opportunity with my colleagues
आप ये
to
सारे
present
विजुअल्स
our
अपने
industry.
स्क्रीन पर
I hope I
इसरो
will
के मिशन
survive to
ऑपरेशन
the
कॉम्प्लेक्स
other torture.
यानी मॉक से देख रहे हैं, जो कि बेंगलुरु में स्थित
Okay,
टेलीमेट्री
Energia in
ट्रैकिंग एंड
brief,
कमांड
we
नेटवर्क
are a
स्ट्रैक से
medium-sized
प्रसारित
company,
किया जा रहा है।
70 million of revenue.
ये विजुअल्स
dollars,
आपको पावर
400
डिसेंट के काउंटडाउन
employees,
और उस पथ को
3
प्रदर्शित
plants.
कर रहा है जिस पे चलकर
And
लैंडर
to
आज
summarize, we
चंद्रमा के
have
साउथ
3
पोल
lines
पे
of products
सेफ और सॉफ्ट
for
लैंडिंग करेगा।
space, but not only space, for
आपको
sky
ध्यान दिला
also,
दूं,
satellites.
इस समय हम लोग पावर
design and
डिसेंट
make
शुरू
small
होने से
satellite balloons.
लगभग 22 मिनट
And
दूर
also
हैं।
we have a product
जो
line
दर्शक
of
थोड़ी देर से
equipments
जुड़े हैं
to,
उनकी जानकारी के लिए
make
बता दें,
trajectography.
आप लोग इस ऐतिहासिक पल को इसरो के ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट,
next.
फेसबुक, ट्विटर और यूट्यूब पे भी देख सकते हैं।
Oh, yes, I have the. I did not understand. Excuse me.
Honorable dignitaries, delegates,
Okay.
scientists, media personnel, and dear viewers,
we propose
a very good
small
evening
sat.
to all of you.
Small sat means
We at ISRO
satellites
welcome
which
you
are
to the
under,
live coverage
100
of India's
kilograms
prestigious
and which address,
Chandrayaan-3 mission's
I would say,
landing
3
event on the lunar
market
surface.
segments. One is connectivity.
These are the visuals from Mission
namely,
Operation Complex
IoT.
at ISRO's
We are
Telemetry
providing,
Tracking and Command Network, ISTRAC, situated
the
in
satellites
Namma
for a
Bengaluru,
constellation called
Karnataka.
Kineis, in particular.
I, Arushi Seth, and my
one
colleague,
product line
Dr.
is
Padamdeo
for,
Mishra,
Earth
are your
observation.
hosts for the evening and shall accompany you on
And
the journey
the
of
third
the landing
one,
event from power
up to
descent
now
start
is,
to touchdown.
Only dedicated
Today we
to
shall be
defense,
witnessing the final phase
application
of the
is,
critical and most
for space
technologically
surveillance,
challenging
and
mission
we
operations
are
of
manufacturing,
Chandrayaan-3,
right now,
wherein the lander
2
module
satellites,
will be making
for
a
the
safe
French MOD
and soft
to
landing
be in
on the surface of the moon.
Orbit.
These display
And,
screens
the purpose of
show the
those
countdown
satellites
to the
is going
power
to
descent
protect
start, as well as the path
the key
that will be
assets
followed by the lander
that,
module.
the forces have in the,
We are
in the,
18 minutes
in
away
geo-orbit.
from the commencement
We
of
have
power
also
descent.
under development a
India
vehicle,
is at the brink of creating
to
history
take care
as we all
about,
await with bated breath to
transportation
witness
of satellite,
the landing on Moon's
up to
south
geo,
polar region.
Orbit. About the balloons, balloons is our systems now, which are becoming again, I would say, fashionable. But just focus on the one category of balloons, which are stratospheric balloons. We are developing a maneuvering balloon, which is going to be able to stay at something like 20 kilometers of altitude during 6 months
इसरो का पहला मून
to stay
मिशन
stable
चंद्रयान-1
in
अक्टूबर
regards of
2008
the
में
ground,
PSLV
so that there will be a lot of applications, Earth observation, telco, and so on, and it will be available in next year, in fact. And I wanted also to be brief to talk about our last baby.
धन्यवाद आरुषि।
We are
अगर
also
मैं सही मायने में
investor. We
कहूँ
are
तो
trying
अंतरिक्ष का कोई भी
to
मिशन
move
हो
also
और चाहे किसी भी देश के द्वारा संचालित
downstreams
किया जा
for
रहा हो,
space
इसरो
application. And
मिशन
it's
की
been
निश्चितता
well said
और
in
अनिश्चितता
the
के बीच
presentation before
बहुत ही
that
महीन
the
अंतर
business
होता
is
है,
much growing
जिससे कि एक
in
मिशन
that
सफल या
area.
असफल होता
And
है।
we have created one
लेकिन
one
ना
year
हम
ago
थके,
a
ना
startup
हम हारे।
which is going
हमने
to focus
पिछली कमियों को सुधारते
on
हुए
the subject
आज
of
पूरी
water,
तरह से
inland
आश्वस्त
water,
किया है कि
management of the
लैंडर
water,
मॉड्यूल निश्चित तौर पे
prediction of
चंद्रमा के सतह पर
disasters,
सेफ
with
और
2
सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग
segments.
करेगा।
We are going to put in orbit
सभी दर्शकों
constellation
के
of
जानकारी के
satellites
लिए अब हम
to make
इसरो
certain
के
measurements
अब तक
daily
के सभी लूनर
on
मिशंस को संक्षिप्त
30,000
विवरण
points
प्रस्तुत
on
करेंगे।
the Earth. And we have
जी हाँ,
also, of course,
इसरो का
a
पहला मून
digital
मिशन चंद्रयान-1
segment,
अक्टूबर
which is
2008 में PSLV रॉकेट के
providing
द्वारा
data and
सफलतापूर्वक
services
प्रक्षेपित
to
किया गया
manage
था।
quality
चंद्रयान-1 ने
and
चंद्रमा के
quantity
सतह पर
of water.
पानी की खोज
And
करके
of
पहले ही
course,
इतिहास रच चुका है।
it's a key subject
यही कारण है कि
all around
आजकल विश्व के तमाम अंतरिक्ष
world.
वैज्ञानिक
Thank you very
और
much.
स्पेस एजेंसियां चंद्रमा को और करीब से जानने के लिए उत्सुक दिख रही हैं।
Thank you very much,
अगर हम
sir.
बात करें
And,
चंद्रयान-2
the
की,
esteemed delegate
जो
from
इसरो का
Shanghai
दूसरा
Space,
मिशन है,
France, Mr.
जुलाई
Roman.
2019 में इसरो के सबसे ताकतवर रॉकेट LVM-3 द्वारा सफलतापूर्वक प्रक्षेपित किया गया था।
Good afternoon,
और आज
everyone.
भी
Dear
लगभग 4
Chairman,
साल
I'm
बाद
very honored to be
यह
here with
चंद्रमा
you
के
and
100
to present
किलोमीटर
to
के
you my
सर्कुलर
company,
ऑर्बिट
Share
में
My
घूमते
Space.
हुए बहुत ही उत्तम क्वालिटी का
So
डेटा प्रदान
we
कर
are
रहा है।
a
मिशन के
French-based
प्रारंभ
company
में
with a
इसकी
global
आयु
ambition,
1 साल
and we
निर्धारित
work
की गई थी,
in the field of space
परंतु
surveillance and
LVM-3
space
द्वारा
operations,
बहुत ही
safety and
सटीक
security.
इंजेक्शन और मिशन
So we
मैनेजमेंट
were
की वजह
incorporated
से
in
चंद्रयान-2
2017
काफी
for
लंबे
one
समय तक
fundamental
कार्यरत
reason,
रहेगा।
Earth
अब तक
orbit congestion.
चंद्रयान-2
So now there
चंद्रमा
are
के
more and
लगभग
more
सभी
satellites
भागों
in
का
Earth
चित्र ले
orbits,
चुका है।
more and more space
इसका
debris
एक
that
बहुत ही
are causing
महत्वपूर्ण
increasing
पेलोड
risks for the
OHRC यानी
sustainability
कि
of
ऑर्बिटर
human
हाई
activities
रेजोल्यूशन
in
कैमरा
space.
विश्व
So
का सबसे
our
बेहतरीन
fundamental
कैमरा
mission
है,
is to tackle
जो कि
that.
चंद्रमा के सतह का लगातार
So
पिक्चर भेज रहा
how
है।
do we do it?
अब मैं
So we've
आरुषि जी
built
से निवेदन
a
करूंगा
system
कि
that we called
वो
our
आप
orbital
लोगों को
information
इसरो के
system,
वर्तमान मिशन
which is a set of
चंद्रयान-3 के बारे में
algorithms and
बताएं।
database architecture, all secured. So we process, we
अभी आपने
ingest,
मिश्रा जी
process,
के द्वारा
package
सुना
and distribute
इसरो के अब
high
तक के
added
लूनार
value
मिशंस का
data
विवरण।
for our customers,
अब चलते
who
हैं
are
towards
institutions,
Chandrayaan-3,
military
the
bodies,
follow-up
and commercial
mission of
players in the space
Chandrayaan-2,
sector.
which has been
So we
designed to
ingest
accomplish
data from
our mission
various
goals.
sources. So
The primary objective of
public
Chandrayaan-3
sources,
mission
sources
is
from
the
partners,
demonstration of
including
safe and
our-
soft
our
landing on
customers.
the lunar surface.
And as a
This
key part of
demonstration
our
is a
orbital
critical
information
aspect
system,
for
we
ISRO's
control a
future
network
interplanetary
of,
missions.
Of optical,
In addition
optical
to this,
stations,
the mission
scattered around the
objectives
world. We
also
currently
include
have 4
demonstration
operational
of
optical
roving
stations.
capability and conduction
And
of
we've
in
actually
situ
designed,
scientific
developed, and
experiments on
deployed,
Moon's surface.
a
Carried
key
on the
innovation that
shoulders
we
of
call the
India's heaviest
multi-telescope
rocket,
observation station.
LVM-3,
So it's
on the
an optical
14th of
system,
July,
made out of 4
Chandrayaan-3 was
optical
placed in the precise
telescopes that
elliptic
scan the
parking
sky and
orbit
detect all the
of
objects
size
that cross
170
an
by
observation ring.
36,500
So it works a little bit
kilometers.
like a radar system would do,
ISRO,
but using
in its mission
optical
plan of
technology,
following
which
the incremental
enables us to
trajectory
drive the
approach,
costs down
carried
and
a
to bridge the
total
gap
of
with the
5
commercial
earthbound
market.
maneuvers.
So
The fifth
we've
apogee
designed the
raising
system to
maneuver,
be
which
extremely
took place
sensitive
on the 25th of
in
July,
LEO, across all orbits,
placed
and
the
in particular
spacecraft
LEO,
in an orbit
also,
of 250
very
by
accurate, so it enables
1,27,000
us
kilometers.
to address a
At the
wider
early hours
market.
of 1st August,
So
the
currently we detect
translunar
even
injection was
the
carried
smallest
out,
objects
after
in the
which
US
the
catalog,
composite
both in
module
LEO
began
and
the
in
final
GEO.
leg of its long journey of nearly 3,84,000 kilometers for its
So yeah,
rendezvous
we've
with the
successfully
moon.
addressed the
The
key
TLI
segments
was
of
a
our
key
market,
step
so
in the
institutions,
mission,
military, and
enabling the
commercial
spacecraft
players.
to
We have
escape
15
Earth's
customers in
gravitational
7
pull
different
and
countries
travel to
around
the moon.
globe. And
An
we've really
orbit
managed
of
to package,
288 by
key products for each of these
369,328
segments.
kilometers was achieved
So
at the
we
end
are
of the
looking forward
translunar
First, I'd
injection.
like to thank again the ISRO and CNES
जी
for
हाँ,
having us here. And
ट्रांसलूनर
we're definitely
इंजेक्शन
looking forward
किसी भी
to further
इंटरप्लेनेटरी मिशन के लिए
collaborations with
बहुत ही
Indian
आवश्यक
partners.
परंतु
Thank you.
कठिन ऑपरेशन होता है। इस सफल मैन्यूअर के बाद चंद्रयान 3 पृथ्वी से दूर निकलकर चंद्रमा के प्रभाव क्षेत्र में एक हाइपरबोलिक ट्रेजेक्टरी के द्वारा पहुंचाया गया। पुनः 5 अगस्त 2023 को लूनर ऑर्बिट इंसर्शन के द्वारा चंद्रयान 3 को 160 किलोमीटर के पेरिलून और 18,000 किलोमीटर के अपोलून के साथ चंद्रमा के इलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में स्थापित कर दिया गया। TLI के तरह LOI भी एक बहुत जटिल ऑपरेशन होता है। इसमें हमें यह ध्यान देना आवश्यक होता है कि उपग्रह के वेगमान को एक निश्चित बिंदु से घटाया जा सके, अन्यथा उपग्रह चंद्रमा के प्रभाव क्षेत्र से बाहर निकल जाएगा। LOI के सफलतापूर्वक परिचालन के बाद चंद्रयान 3 की कक्षा को 4 बार और परिवर्तित किया गया। इस दौरान चंद्रमा की अधिकतम ऊंचाई को घटाकर 160 किलोमीटर कर दिया गया। इस पूरी प्रक्रिया में propulsion मॉड्यूल का लगभग 755 किलोग्राम ईंधन का उपयोग हुआ और चंद्रयान 3 के वेगमान को लगभग 850 मीटर प्रति सेकंड कम कर दिया गया। लैंडर मॉड्यूल को लगभग 150 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट में स्थापित करने के बाद 17 अगस्त 2023 को propulsion मॉड्यूल से अलग कर दिया गया। पुनः लैंडर मॉड्यूल के ऑर्बिट को 2 डुई मैन्यूवर्स के द्वारा 150 किलोमीटर के सर्कुलर ऑर्बिट से घटाकर 25 गुणे 130 किलोमीटर के इलिप्टिकल ऑर्बिट में स्थापित कर दिया गया। इस दौरान यह भी सुनिश्चित कर दिया गया कि 800 न्यूटन के चारों थ्रोटल थ्रस्टर्स पावर डिसेंट के समय किसी भी चुनौती का सामना कर सकें। लैंडर मॉड्यूल इस ऑर्बिट में 4 दिन तक चंद्रमा की परिक्रमा करता रहा ताकि इसके सभी सब सिस्टम को पावर डिसेंट से पहले कार्यात्मक रूप से वेरीफाई और वैलिडेट किया जा सके। इस दौरान चंद्रयान 2 और लैंडर मॉड्यूल की आपस में बातचीत भी हो चुकी है। और संक्षेप में अब तक की यात्रा की बात करें तो लैंडर मॉड्यूल अब तक 21 बार पृथ्वी के और लगभग 120 बार चंद्रमा का चक्कर लगा चुका है और इस पूरी यात्रा में लगभग 55 लाख किलोमीटर की यात्रा भी पूरी कर चुका है। अब तक के इस पूरे अभियान में यह भी सुनिश्चित किया गया कि सारे ऑर्बिट मैन्यूअर्स इस प्रकार किए जाएं कि लैंडिंग साइट पावर डिसेंट की शुरुआत से ही लैंडर के ऑर्बिटल प्लेन में बना रहे।
That is true indeed. We have arrived at the crucial juncture wherein the orbit plane contains the desired landing site at the start of powered descent. We are also happy to announce that live images from the Chandrayaan-3 lander imager camera is being received continuously. The demonstration of soft landing on the moon's surface is no ordinary feat due to the innumerable challenges and complexities involved. The lander velocity has to be killed from nearly 6,048 kilometers per hour without any aid from the thin and tenuous moon's atmosphere. The lunar dust at the time of landing and the craters and boulders scattered over the moon's surface make it further complicated to achieve this. The new and improved Chandrayaan-3 design has been built after envisaging all the scenarios which the lander module can encounter. With several software improvements, provision for full-level redundancies, a plethora of special tests, namely the integrated hot test, integrated cold test, and lander leg drop tests were carried out for the lander module. The success of these tests has provided great confidence in the performance of all the onboard sensors, propulsion system, and associated guidance, control, and navigation algorithms. The key findings during the tests have enabled to improve the overall system performance. The largely unexplored South Pole of the Moon has been chosen as the intended landing site, since there is a possibility of finding ice and other minerals which would be vital resources for future explorers. Apart from continuing investigations pioneered by Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2, the Chandrayaan-3 mission will also provide invaluable data to the science community around the world. Let us give our viewers a glimpse on the configuration of Chandrayaan-3 mission.
Start with the statement that says that we do everything but launcher, meaning space infrastructure, telecommunication, Earth observation, science, exploration, and navigation. And in this picture, you can actually see all the orbits and all the products that, by the way, are very well flight proven since the last 40 years. So you see at the list of the chart, the Mars, where we have an
चंद्रयान
orbiting
3 का मिशन
system
प्लान
there
लगभग
waiting for
लगभग
the rover
चंद्रयान 2 के तरह
to
ही
go.
बनाया गया है। यहाँ यह भी
we
सुनिश्चित
have
किया
our
गया है कि
motto is
चंद्रयान
space
3
to,
को रॉकेट से
meaning
अलग
that
होने से
space
लेकर
to
के
observe, space
चंद्रमा
to
के
defend,
निकटतम
space
कक्षा
to
में
explore,
स्थापित होने
and so on.
तक
So
सारी
that's what
गतिविधियां
the way
चंद्रयान 2 के
we
तरह ही हों।
divide
और
our
अब हम यह कह
disciplines.
सकते हैं
Let's
कि यह
start
प्लान
with the space
पूरी
to
तरह से
observe and
100%
navigate.
सफल रहा।
I'm referring
हालांकि
specifically
लैंडर
to
मॉड्यूल के
very
सेंसर्स और प्रोपल्शन
specific
सिस्टम को इस
competence
तरह
of
से
Italy
मजबूत
in
किया
the
गया
radar
है कि
system. It all
लैंडर
started
पावर
with the
डिसेंट के
Cosmos
समय
Skymed
किसी भी
constellation
आपदा
6
से बाहर
satellite
आकर के
going on,
मिशन के मुख्य उद्देश्य
and
को
two
पूरा कर
ready
सके।
to fly,
इस क्रम
which
में
allowed us
लैंडर के मुख्य
to
सेंसर्स
go into
कारा,
the
लासा,
position of a
एलएचबीसी,
main actor of
एलडीवी
the
और
ESA
एलएचडैक
EU
का
Sentinel
कार्यात्मक
for the Earth
परीक्षण भी किया जा
observation,
चुका है।
whatever field. I mean,
एलडीवी जो कि
radar,
पूर्णतः स्वदेशी तकनीकी से बनाया गया
as
एक
well
नया
as,
सेंसर है। इसका मुख्य
optical
कार्य लैंडर के
observation.
वेलोसिटी
We
को
have
तीनों अक्षों
now
में
developed
कंप्यूट
and we
करना
are
है।
under
पावर
contract
डिसेंट के
to
दौरान
fly constellation
लैंडर के
for
सटीक
the high
पोजीशन
resolution
और
radar
वेलोसिटी का ज्ञान
systems.
होना बहुत ही
The
आवश्यक
reason
है।
behind that
लिराव
is the
यानी लेजर इनर्शियल
increased,
रिफरेंसिंग एंड
time
एक्सीलरोमीटर
revisit
पैकेज
that is very
इस
much
कार्य को
required
पावर
by
डिसेंट
the
के दौरान
customers.
बखूबी निभाएगा।
Satellite ranging
ट्रैजेक्टरी
in the
जनरेशन
weight
जो कि
average
चंद्रयान
of
3 मिशन के लिए
200
बहुत ही अहम
kilograms,
है,
and
क्योंकि
in a
हर ऑर्बिट
constellation
मैन्यूवर के बाद
mode.
यह सुनिश्चित किया
Going to
जाता है कि लैंडर की मिशन
navigation,
ऑब्जेक्टिव
we
को
are
ना बदले।
building the second
इस क्रम
generation
में
of the
मैं यह भी
Galileo
आपको बता दूं कि
system
ऑर्बिट
in
डिटर्मिनेशन
Europe.
जो कि
Then
उपग्रह के
Earth to
पोजीशन और
explore,
वेलोसिटी को
space to
बहुत ही
explore.
एक्यूरेटली
Our
बताता है।
heritage
एक बहुत ही
start from
कठिन
Space Lab,
और जटिल
therefore we are
कंप्यूटेशन
talking
और
of the
एस्टिमेशन होता है।
70s, more or less,
यहाँ यह भी
80s,
जानना
and
महत्वपूर्ण
we've
है कि
been working on the
चंद्रयान 2 का
International Space Station,
OHRC
where we have a
पेलोड
major
अब तक
role. I
काफी
mentioned
ऊंचे
the fact
स्तर का
that
डैम प्रदान किया
Thalassalena
है,
Space has
जिसके
built more than
फलस्वरूप
the 50%
लैंडिंग साइट की सीमा
of
को
the
बढ़ाकर
habitable
4
volume.
गुणे 2.4
And
किलोमीटर
we
कर
are
दिया गया
today
है,
the major
जो कि पावर
actor
डिसेंट
in
के
the
दौरान
building of
सॉफ्ट
the
लैंडिंग
lunar
कराने में
gateway in
काफी
terms of
सहायक सिद्ध होगा।
habitable volume. We have the International Lab. We have the ESPRI module for the resources.
Apart from
We
the
are building
sensors,
the US-led
Chandrayaan 3
HALO,
is equipped with a
under
suite of
contract,
sophisticated payload
with,
instruments.
US Prime. And
While
we are
Chandrayaan-1 and
developing under the
Chandrayaan-2
Italian
orbiter
Space
have
Agency a
provided
lunar habitat
abundant
on the
remote sensing
surface.
data of
We are
Moon,
also participating
equally
into the
important
commercial
are
LEO
the on-site
development with a
localized
number of
measurements
actors.
that provide
Today
ground
we have
truths.
contract in place with Axiom,
Lander and
you
rover
see the
have
two
payloads
modules,
which are
flight models
completely
being
new
already
and will
manufactured
perform in
in
situ
TAS,
analysis
and
of lunar
we have the
surface.
Martian mission
The two
ExoMars.
spectroscopes
We
on
already have a
rover,
satellite flying
APXs
around
and
Mars.
LIBS,
We
will
land the
actively
rover
measure
in
the surface
2028.
elemental
Actually, it
abundances
would
at
have
the landing
been
location
launched in
and surrounding area.
2022, but due to the crisis,
The lander carries a
in
seismometer
Ukraine,
ILSA
the launch
that
was
can
delayed
sense
for the
impact events and lunar
existing
quakes.
cooperation between
The
Europe and
thermal
Russia,
probe
which was
CHAST will
actually,
measure the temperature
destroyed.
profile and thermal
This being
conductivity
said,
of
we are
Moon's
very
regolith.
much active in trying to look
The
for
Rambha
area
payload will
cooperation
carry out
with India
lunar
as well as
ionosphere
with
studies, while the
other
laser
countries,
retroreflector
including the
array shall be a
possibility to
passive
localize,
location indicator
some
for
of the
future
production
spacecraft
that we have.
equipped
As you
with
see,
laser
what we need
altimeter.
here is be
The
competitive,
propulsion
and
module
we're
has
trying
not
to
been
do
left
everything
behind,
allow us to do
and
that.
an
Thank you very much.
experimental shape payload has been added to it as a value addition.
Thank you very much,
It will
sir.
help
And
in
now
understanding the
I invite
nature
from
and
iSpace
characteristics
Incorporated
of
Japan,
water-rich
Mr.
planets
Masayuki Urata.
and will also aid in the future study of potentially habitable exoplanets. We are minutes away from the start of powered descent. The entire powered descent
Good
shall be
afternoon,
carried out
everybody.
by
My
the
name is
onboard
Masayuki
autonomous
Urata,
landing
Sales Officer
sequencer
of iSpace
or
Japan.
ALS, which
Today,
a
I
series
would like
of
to give a
instructions
presentation about
preloaded
our
to the lander
company and
module.
our recent,
These
mission, and
instructions
also
include
about
the
our
commands
future
to be
missions.
executed,
But before
data
that,
to be
I would like to
collected
mention
and
that the
analyzed,
keyword
and
is,
decisions to be made
let's
and
go to the moon
executed
together.
autonomously throughout the powered descent.
So this is overview of our company, iSpace. So we were established in 2010
जी हाँ,
with a
अब हम
long-term
पावर
vision,
डिसेंट के
Moon
बहुत
Valley
ही करीब आ
2040.
चुके हैं। हम
Currently,
आपको
we
बताते
have
चलें कि पावर
employees
डिसेंट
with,
को
200
कुल 4 चरणों में
people,
बांटा गया है।
from over 25
सबसे पहले
countries
आता है
located in
रफ ब्रेकिंग
Japan,
फेज,
USA,
जिसमें लैंडर
and
की
Europe,
ऊंचाई को
Luxembourg.
चंद्रमा की सतह से 30
So we are
किलोमीटर से
developing Lunar
घटाकर
Lander and Lunar
7.4
Rover,
किलोमीटर
and
कर
as
दिया
asset
जाएगा।
we have Mission
इस
Control
पूरी
Center
प्रक्रिया
in
को
Tokyo.
पूरा करने में लगभग 11.5 मिनट लगेगा और इसका समानांतर वेग 1680 मीटर प्रति सेकंड से घटाकर 358 मीटर प्रति सेकंड हो जाएगा।
to the moon. And
We
also
have continuous
lunar
flow
data.
of lander telemetry data
As
from
for the financial
ISRO's Deep
achievements,
Space Network,
we would like to
IDSN-32,
emphasize that,
located
we
in
successfully
Belalu,
raised
Bengaluru.
over 200
The data is being
million
acquired
US
real-time by
before
station
IPO.
and is flown to the
And
Mission
in this
Operation
April,
Complex
we
through our
succeeded
communication
in,
links.
IPO,
In addition to it,
in
we
Tokyo
also have
Stock
support
Exchange
from
growth
ESA
market.
and JPL
So
DSN
it is
stations.
our, first,
There will be no
IPO,
ground intervention
as a
once the
startup in-
ALS
space
takes charge.
startup in Japan.
The preparation for today's event had started
And this is
48 hours
the,
before,
overall
wherein
overview of
various
our mission
pre-selections and uplinking of
So, we
parameters
launched
for the
our
autonomous
first
landing
lander,
sequence were
to
carried
the
out.
moon, last year in December. And we,
The whole descent is divided into four
lunar
phases:
landing,
the rough braking phase,
in
the
April
attitude hold phase,
2003.
fine braking phase, and the local navigation phase
Unfortunately,
or the terminal
the
descent
result
phase.
was ended as hard landing, but it is very important that we identified the
जी
root
हाँ,
cause of
एटीट्यूड
the hard
होल्ड
landing
फेज जो कि
as a
पावर डिसेंट
failure,
का दूसरा चरण है,
and we can,
एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण फेज है।
reflect, such
इस 10
lessons
सेकेंड
learned, utilize
के
lessons
स्मॉल
learned
ड्यूरेशन के
for the
दौरान
future
लैंडर
missions.
के 2 महत्वपूर्ण सेंसर
As you can
कारा
see, so
और
we
लासा
successfully,
लैंडर
took
की
some
ऊंचाई की
pictures,
गणना करेंगे।
in the lunar
इस
orbit,
फेज के पूरा होते
and
ही
also,
लैंडर चंद्रमा के
there's some
सतह से कुल
analysis,
6.8
as a,
किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई पर होगा।
hard landing. Then you can check our detailed analysis.
During the
in
rough
YouTube.
braking phase,
But,
the
it
lander
is a
velocity
kind of,
shall be brought down
software
from
error related to
1,680
altitude
meters per
measurement.
second to 358 meters
Then
per
this is
second.
our future
The
missions.
altitude will be
We
brought
have,
down
two,
from 30
future
kilometers
missions,
to
now
7.4
specifically
kilometers
planned.
at the end of rough braking.
So mission 2, we are going to use the same lander. And as for mission 3, we are going to upgrade for commercialization, which has 500 kilograms payload capacity. We are going
Currently,
to launch mission 2 in 2024
we can
next
see
year,
the
and,
scientists are
mission 3
analyzing
in
the lander data.
2025. As for mission 3, we got a big contract from NASA under
जी
CLIPS
हाँ,
program,
हम ये देख
and
सकते
we are
हैं
going to
कि
bring
मिशन
100
ऑपरेशन
kilograms of
कॉम्प्लेक्स
NASA's
रूप में
payload
बैठे
to the
सभी
far side of the
वैज्ञानिक
moon.
ये जो
We
भी
are going to
डेटा
bring two
देख रहे हैं
communication
वो
satellites together with
डीप
this lander.
स्पेस नेटवर्क IDSN
If you are interested
32
in
के द्वारा
lunar mission in
प्रोवाइड
the
किया
future,
जा रहा है।
so please kindly
और
contact
अगर हम
us
अब बात
and,
करें
let's
पावर
go to the
डिसेंट के
moon
तीसरे
together.
चरण
Thank
का
you very much.
जो कि फाइन ब्रेकिंग फेज होगा, जिसमें लैंडर
Thank you
लैंडिंग
very
साइट
much
से
indeed,
जस्ट
sir. And
800
before I
मीटर
invite
की
the next
ऊंचाई पर
presenter, may I
वर्टिकली
invite
होगा।
presenters,
इस
the
चरण
next
को
set of 5 presenters
पूरा
to
होने
please come
में
and take
लगभग
seats
3
closer
मिनट
to the
लगेंगे
podium.
और इस
Unmanned
चरण के
Exploration
पूरा होते
Laboratory,
ही
Republic of
लैंडर
Korea,
की
Glab
वेलोसिटी
Cosmos, Russia,
लगभग
Inmarsat,
शून्य हो जाएगी।
UK, Mithira Global Communications Limited, and Voyager
The
Space
scientists
USA.
here at ISTRAC
And now
are
I
glued to their
invite, from
systems,
Sagri, Japan,
analyzing
Mr.
all
Satoshi
sorts of
Nagata.
complex data. We are very close to the powered descent, to the start of the
Nice to
powered
meet you all.
descent phase.
And at first, I'd like to thank you, ISRO team and the admin team for today.
जी हाँ,
Nice to meet you. I'm
अगर हम अब
Satoshi
बात करें
Nagata
पावर
from
डिसेंट
Sagri.
के चौथे और
Our
अंतिम चरण का,
company from Japan,
जो कि लोकल
established in
नेविगेशन फेज
2018.
या टर्मिनल डिसेंट फेज भी कहा जाता
we have a
है।
company
इस दौरान
in Bangalore
लैंडर के
here.
2 इंजन
Actually,
बंद
I'm
कर दिए
leading the
जाएंगे
Indian
और लैंडर के
engineering,
सेंसरों द्वारा इसके
engineering
हाइट
and,
और वेलोसिटी की
sales team.
गणना
I'm leading,
इनर्शियल
from
नेविगेशन को
India,
भेज दिया
yeah.
जाएगा।
Actually, our
इस दौरान
company in
लैंडर
our world,
150 मीटर की
we are
ऊंचाई को
utilizing the
प्राप्त करने
satellite
के बाद
images, AI,
कुल
mapping technologies.
131
We are
सेकंड लगाएगा।
utilizing these
इस पड़ाव पे
three
आने के
features
बाद
of
पुनः
technology
लैंडर
and
22
supporting
सेकंड के लिए
farmers in
हवरिंग
emerging
करेगा।
countries. Okay, this is an example of our technology. We have two key features. Yeah, one is the auto mapping of farmland. We for example, in emerging countries, farmland is scattered. For
आप
example,
इस समय अपने स्क्रीन पे मिशन ऑपरेशन कॉम्प्लेक्स में बैठे सभी मान्य गणों को देख सकते हैं, जो कि बहुत ही उत्सुकता के साथ टेलीमेट्री डेटा को देख रहे हैं। अभी हम लोग पावर डिसेंट शुरू होने से जस्ट कुछ ही पल दूर हैं।
Main chemical indexes we can track. Maybe based on these analysis, we can optimize the fertilizer.
पावर डिसेंट शुरू होने में लगभग 30 सेकंड ही बचा है और हमको ये सारे डेटा मिशन ऑपरेशन कॉम्प्लेक्स रूम में IDSN 32 के द्वारा, जो कि लगातार लैंडर के कनेक्शन में बना हुआ है, प्रदान कर रहा है।
to deal with these challenges,
Dear viewers,
we
the pivotal power descent has begun,
based on
and the lander module is propelling towards the moon's surface along the intended
we can
trajectory.
support farmers like these, based on satellite image analysis of farmland. Then we can suggest farmers to please decrease chemical fertilizer. Based on that decrease, farmers can decrease the
जी
greenhouse
हाँ,
gas
अब हम अब देख सकते हैं रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज की शुरुआत हो चुकी है।
we can contribute also to the a carbon neutral station in the world.
During this rough braking phase, the lander velocity shall be brought down from 1,680 meters per second to 358 meters per
In
second.
this concept,
The
we started
altitude will be
working,
brought down
actually
from 30
India
kilometers
and Kenya,
to 7.4
Thailand,
kilometers
Vietnam.
at the
All over
end
world,
of
we
rough
got to work
braking.
together.
All this
So,
in the
the
duration of
friends from the
690
world
seconds
today,
or
if
11.5 minutes.
If you would like to
Currently,
partnership with
the
us,
laser inertial
we are-
reference and
we are
accelerometer
open
package,
today.
LIRAP,
And also,
is
I'm
aiding in the
based Bangalore,
navigation.
So maybe whenever you are free, we
जी
can have
हाँ,
a call.
अभी आप अपनी
each
स्क्रीन
other.
पे देख सकते
Thank you,
हैं
thank you for
कि
listening. धन्यवाद.
लैंडर अब तक कुल 191 किलोमीटर हॉरिजेंटल
Thank
दिशा
you
में
very
चल
much,
चुका
sir.
है
And ladies and
और
gentlemen, next we have
अभी तक इसकी
from
वेलोसिटी
Unmanned
लगभग
Exploration
31
Laboratory,
किलोमीटर
Korea,
बनी हुई है।
Mr. Yongsub Kim.
The lander module has traveled a distance of
Hello, ladies and
approximately
gentlemen. I'm Yongsub Kim,
228
project manager
kilometers.
at Unmanned Exploration
The
Laboratory.
complete
UAE
downrange
is a
that will be
South Korean
traveled during this
robotics
phase
startup
shall be nearly
specializing in making
713.5
rovers for
kilometers.
space. UAE provides many different robotic platforms
जी हाँ,
for use in
कुल
exploration.
745 किलोमीटर के इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज में आप देख सकते हैं कि हम लोग लगभग अपनी यात्रा 20% कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं।
Lunar equipment. As a leading startup aligned with Korea's national space policy, we have partnered with
पावर
key
डिसेंट
national
की यह शुरुआत
research
हम कह
institutes
सकते हैं कि
in
बहुत ही सटीक
aerospace,
और सदी हुई
construction
है,
and nuclear
जिसमें
energy,
लैंडर
and
अपने
are
वेगमान
paired with
को अनुमानित
carbon,
तरीके से घटा रहा है।
projects for space exploration. We have
The altitude of the
tested
lander
multiple
module will reduce from
prototypes of
7.4
lunar rovers.
kilometers
We have
to
small
6.8
kilogram
kilometers.
two-wheel rovers
During
to
the
large
next phase,
four-wheel
which is
rovers
going to
with
be
dedicated
the
suspensions
attitude
and
hold phase.
solar panels.
We can currently
We
see
are
that the
also
altitude of the lander
experimenting
module
with foldable
is nearly
chassis and
31
various
kilometers.
technologies that allow our rovers to
ROCC
be
अभी हम इस
packed
ग्राउंड
into
ट्रेस को
small
देखते हुए
space
कह
and
सकते हैं कि रफ
be
ब्रेकिंग फेज
available
की
for more
शुरुआत बहुत ही
ignition.
अच्छे तरीके
And
से हुई है। आप ये देख सकती हैं
this is
कि जो भी
our
प्रोजेक्टेड
foldable
ग्राउंड
rovers
ट्रेस है
and,
उसी पे अपना
we can
लैंडर मॉड्यूल
downsizing
आगे
our
चलते हुए
wheels.
बढ़ रहा है। अभी तक ये देखा जा
like this
सकता है
technology.
कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल लगभग 370
We also have
किलोमीटर 36 दिशा में चल
separate
चुका है।
technologies for 3D printing technology that can use lunar regolith
The mission
and
operations team is
manufacture
analyzing the
synthetic
data.
lunar soil for experimenting
We
lunar
can
equipment.
all see the seriousness and the concentration with which
We are
each
going
and
to,
every
going
parameter
through
of the
these
lander
projects
module is
with-
being
with
analyzed.
various partners
The
both in
performance so far
public and
seems to be
private
nominal.
sector. We have institutions
जी
with
आरुषि,
whom we are developing a lot of
चूंकि
these
एलएस एक्टिवेट किया जा
foldable
चुका है,
structures.
इसलिए ग्राउंड से
These
कोई
partners
कमांडिंग
are
नहीं की जा रही है।
critical for
इस
us
दौरान
to
आपके
gain
स्क्रीन
access
पे
to
सारे
advanced
डेटा इसरो के
technologies
डीप
such
स्पेस
as building
नेटवर्क
materials,
से रियल टाइम
testing
में आ
in
रहे
their
हैं।
space
इस
environments.
मिशन में सेकेंड और थर्ड
Our
ऑर्डर
startup is
गाइडेंस
located in
पॉलिनोमियल
both
का
the
प्रयोग हुआ
capital
है,
Seoul
जो कि
as well as
इनर्शियल
factory
थ्रस्ट और
in a
एंगल
nearby city
के
of
हमेशा
Ansan.
सुनिश्चित करेगा।
The pride of our facility.
During the entire descent, there is no ground intervention as the ALS has taken charge. The preparation for today's event had started nearly 48 hours before, wherein various pre-selections and uplinking of parameters were done. We can see that the vertical velocity of the lander module has been brought down. It is continuously coming down.
If you have any questions, feel free to contact us in the email
And the
address
ALS
here.
had already
Thank
been
you for
initiated
my
1 hour
pre-
before
thank
the
you for hearing
scheduled
my
time of the power descent
presentation.
start. Following this, the throttleable engine electronics module, the TECM, was switched on and lander was oriented to the favorable attitude.
And with that, now let me invite
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर मॉड्यूल जिसकी शुरुआत में वेलोसिटी 1680 मीटर पर सेकंड थी, लगभग 1150 मीटर पर सेकंड हो चुकी है, जो कि एक बहुत ही मैजेस्टिक शुरुआत कही जा सकती है इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज के लिए.
This is a very complicated chart that just justifies our presence here.
यहाँ पे मैं आपको ये भी बताते चलूं कि आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि द लैंडर मॉड्यूल का अल्टीट्यूड धीरे-धीरे अब कम होता हुआ दिख रहा है और जो कि एक्सपेक्टेड भी है. अभी हम बात करें करंट अल्टीट्यूड की, तो जो कि 28.6 किलोमीटर के आसपास है.
आप स्क्रीन पर ये भी देख सकते हैं चंद्रयान 3 लैंडर इमेजर डिस्प्ले. द लैंडर इमेजर is continuously taking photographs of the moon's surface, and that is also being streamed here. Currently the horizontal velocity has been brought down and the distance traveled is 574 kilometers. The current altitude is 27 kilometers as can be seen on the screen.
Space business.
जी हाँ, करीब अपने आधे सफर को पूरा करते हुए इस रफ ब्रेकिंग फेज में लैंडर बहुत ही आगे की तरफ बढ़ते हुए अपनी ऊंचाई को घटा रहा है. अगर अब बात करें तो लैंडर की ऊंचाई चंद्रमा के सतह से लगभग 27 किलोमीटर से नीचे हो चुकी है, करीब 26.7 किलोमीटर के आसपास है.
The next phase after the rough braking phase is the attitude hold phase, which will be for a duration of nearly 10 seconds. The lander will be oriented such that both the altimeters will be looking exactly towards the moon's surface. At the end of this attitude hold phase, height measurement update to navigation system will be given from the laser and car band altimeters. Currently, we are in the middle of the rough braking phase.
It is doing with the private companies.
जी हाँ, अगर हम ध्यान से देखें तो लगभग 8 मिनट की यात्रा के बाद लैंडर अपनी हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी को लगातार कम करते हुए अपनी ऊंचाई अभी की ऊंचाई के समय 24 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई प्राप्त कर चुका है.
As a one-stop shop for the whole Russian space industry, we're facilitating your
अब तक के आंकड़े को देखते हुए हम कह सकते हैं कि लैंडिंग पूरी तरह से नॉमिनल है. यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं कि हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी लगातार कम होती हुई दिख रही है.
I'd like to now invite from Inmarsat UK, Mr. Gautam Sharma.
The altitude of lander from ground is currently 22 kilometer, which is again going to be coming down, and that is expected.
For the viewers who have joined now, we are in the power descent phase, and we are in the rough braking phase, which is the first phase of the power descent. We have currently traveled a downrange of 697 kilometers. And the downrange that has to be traveled during this phase is 713.5 kilometers.
जी हाँ, अभी आप देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी लगभग 720 मीटर प्रति सेकंड हो गई है. लगभग हम ये कह सकते हैं कि 900 मीटर प्रति सेकंड वेलोसिटी को कम किया जा चुका है.
becomes a $4.1 billion revenue company with EBITDA of 1.4 billion. And
at the same time, we can see the altitude of the lander is just 17.8 kilometers from the moon surface, which is going to be around 7.4 at the end of the rough braking phase.
And in addition to this, we are also planning to launch 10 more satellites, including 2 satellites in geo orbit,
हम जाएंगे towards
in the Arctic region.
Attitude hold phase,
which we will be addressing by 2030 would be
where we will be expecting sensor update from the laser and car band altimeters,
out of which 300 employees are based out of India. And we also
can see
have
the
global
visualization
offices
of the lander
in
module
almost 90 plus places,
moving towards
including
the
3
moon's
offices
surface.
in India, which include
The current
Chennai,
altitude is nearly
Hyderabad, and New
15.2
Delhi.
kilometers,
And we have
the distance
patents of
traveled is
2,500
754
plus
kilometers.
jointly.
We can also see the image
The
that
focus
the
of
lander
Viasat
imager
entity
camera
would
has
be on
been
fixed
providing.
satellite services, giving high throughput
जी
broadband
हाँ, इस
connectivity
रफ
to
ब्रेकिंग फेज
consumers.
के दौरान 800
strategic
न्यूटन के
government
चारों
services,
थ्रोटल इंजन
as well
अपने
as
कार्य को
mobility
पूरी तरह
services.
से अंजाम दे
The
रहे
key
हैं
markets
और
would be commercial
लैंडर के
aviation, business
हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी को
aviation,
लगातार कम कर रहे हैं।
maritime, space,
अब तक लैंडर
tactical
लगभग
networking, etc.
अपने 75 से 80%
We
की
also
यात्रा को
believe the
पूरा कर
future
चुका है।
lies towards broadband and IoT, and that's why the focus would remain on energy, aviation, fixed, government, maritime.
After the rough
and
braking
on
and the
IoT
attitude hold
side,
phase,
on
we shall be
tracking and
having the
monitoring
fine
and
braking
analytics.
phase, which will continue for nearly 3 minutes.
As I said, we believe in connections, and our focus
The whole phase
remains
is
on
being driven by the autonomous
sustainability
landing
because we
sequencer, and there
strongly
is no
believe
intervention from
protecting
ground.
environment is important for every citizen. Community and charitable giving,
जी हाँ
and
आरुषि, अभी आप
diversity
अपनी
and
स्क्रीन पे
inclusion.
देख सकती हैं कि
These are few of
जो
the
करंट
customers which we are
आल्टीट्यूड
already
है
serving in India, which
चंद्रमा के
includes
सतह
Vistara
से
Airlines.
लगभग
They're using our
लगभग
safety
10
suite
किलोमीटर के
broadband
आसपास है।
solutions in their cockpits. In
जी
addition
हाँ,
to SpiceJet,
हम अपने
where we have in some of their 777 Maxes, our Global Express services. We also serve Great Eastern Shipping
जी
Corporation
हाँ,
of India
हमारे
by
प्रधानमंत्री
digitizing
जी
their
श्री
maritime
नरेंद्र
vessels,
मोदी जी हम
Shipping
सभी का
Corporation of
उत्साहवर्धन
India,
करने के लिए
and similarly,
दक्षिणी
we're also
अफ्रीका के
giving
जोहान्सबर्ग से जुड़ गए हैं।
connectivity across board to defense forces, which includes swift broadband as well as fleet broadband and Inmarsat C services. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Yes, we are privileged to have with us Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has joined us from South Africa's Johannesburg to encourage us.
Okay.
जी हाँ, आप ये देख सकते हैं एल्टीट्यूड होल्ड फेज भी बहुत ही आसानी से लैंडर फेज ने पार कर लिया है और अब फाइन ब्रेकिंग की शुरुआत हो चुकी है। अभी हम ये देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 5.6 किलोमीटर है, जो कि इस फेज के उपरांत लगभग 800 मीटर हो जाएगी।
Services anytime, anywhere, inside of every time.
We can hear from the mission operations team that the sensors are performing nominally.
19,500 kilometers.
And we are currently in the midst of the fine braking phase, which is going to continue for 3 minutes. And the altitude is going to be reduced to nearly 800 meters at the end of this phase.
Satellites will go into the orbit.
जी हाँ, जैसा कि आरुषि जी ने बताया कि लगभग 3 मिनट के उपरांत लैंडर की हाइट लगभग 800 मीटर वर्टिकली होगी और यहाँ पे लैंडर की हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी, वर्टिकल वेलोसिटी, इवन डाउन रेंज भी लगभग शून्य होगा।
We can see the visual of the lander module, and we can see that the downrange traveled is nearly 831 kilometers.
Working for KA band, but I'm pleased to announce that very soon this terminal will evolve to switch over to the other bands, including Geo, Leo, and other bands. This terminal
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई अब चंद्रमा के सतह से लगभग 3 किलोमीटर से कम हो चुकी है।
And 1.2 meter antenna giving
we
up
are
to 1 Gbps.
Very close to the moon's surface, nearly 2.6 kilometers, as we can see.
Starting with the residential enterprise broadband services, GSM backhaul, government for digital rollouts, services including the earth monitoring, military and defense, other data and communication services, disaster recovery, and rescue services. Just to conclude, we are a bridge between MEO,
जी हाँ, अभी आप देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 1 किलोमीटर के आसपास है।
Vasudeva Kutabakam, which is one earth, one space, one family. Thank you so much.
We are nearing the final phase of the power descent,
presentation, and I'd like to now call
which
on,
is going to be the
before I
vertical
call on
descent
Voyager Space
phase
USA,
or
may
the
I also
local
invite
navigation
the
phase.
esteemed delegates from Eliana, Singapore, Indra, Spain, Satlantis, Spain, PLD Space, Spain, and Hindustan Aeronautics
एकदम
Limited.
करीब आ चुके हैं। हाँ, आप तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट से सुन सकते हैं कि हम लोगों ने तीसरे चरण को भी बहुत ही सफलतापूर्वक हासिल कर लिया है और अभी हम वर्टिकल डिसेंट फेज में आ चुके हैं, जिसकी शुरुआत भी बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से हो चुकी है।
Space infrastructure and diversified technical solutions. A lot of mumbo jumbo there, but what I'll say is,
lot of applause
mostly known
indicates
for
that
Starlab
till
is
now the performance has been nominal.
commercial space station.
We are in the vertical descent phase
one.
1.
One single launch. It is a fairly large system. It's about 40%
The altitude is being brought down
ISS
from
pressurized
800
volume.
meters.
It has a power
And we are
propulsion
nearing
system, 60 kilowatt
and
power
approaching
propulsion
the
system.
lunar surface.
The actual research system that's in the
जी,
vehicle will have
आप
100%
अपनी
of the
स्क्रीन पे
payload
देख
capacity of
सकते
the
हैं
ISS
कि लैंडर
actually, and
की
then some.
हाइट लगातार कम होता जा रहा है। इस समय हम लैंडिंग साइट के जस्ट ऊपर हैं और इस समय इसकी ऊंचाई लगभग 600 मीटर के आसपास है। इस फेज के दौरान लगभग 150 मीटर के ऊंचाई पे पहुंचने के बाद लैंडर अगेन लगभग 20 से 22 सेकंड के लिए हॉवरिंग करेगा।
We are above the landing site. The horizontal as well as the vertical velocity is now being constantly reduced, and the lander module has begun its descent towards the landing site.
They all have different needs, different types of customers who really don't play well together. You don't want to be doing advanced microgravity research next to somebody who wants to play their music really loud as they move forward, or doing manufacturing starting.
अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि जो पथ निर्धारित किया गया है, लैंडर पूरी तरह से उसी को ही फॉलो कर रहा है। इस समय हम लगभग 200 मीटर की हाइट से भी कम आ चुके हैं।
Systems, Earth and space visualization, ISR, and other advanced solutions.
अब हम ये देख सकते हैं कि हम लगभग 150 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे हैं चंद्रमा के सतह से।
Outposts for Earth observation or other types of research.
We are approaching the vertical descent phase 2, which will have the lander module hovering at nearly 150 meters above the lunar surface.
जी हाँ, आप इस तालियों के गड़गड़ाहट को सुन सकते हैं, जो कि सेकंड हाइब्रिड फेज के कंप्लीट होने के बाद इन सारे वैज्ञानिकों के द्वारा की जा रही है। जी हाँ, आप अगर फिर से ध्यान से देखें तो एल्टीट्यूड पुनः कम होता जा रहा है। अभी हम लोग लगभग 135 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे हैं।
The sensors that are updating at this point are providing confirmation of the safety of the landing site.
As expected, the retargeting is going on, and this is a very good signature for the lander. अभी आप ये देख सकते हैं कि लैंडर की ऊंचाई लगभग 65 मीटर के आसपास बची हुई है।
In space, so you can capture them and then either refuel them or remove debris. Communication systems,
currently
laser
only
and RF
2 engines are now being fired,
communications for quite a number
and
of years,
we are
as well as
nearly at zero velocity, vertical and horizontal. We were hovering, and now we are approaching the moon's surface.
And then Earth visualization systems, we have
धीरे-धीरे
ISR capabilities.
लैंडर की वेगमान को कम किया जा रहा है और हम अब लगभग 50 मीटर से भी कम आ चुके हैं।
Development on using lunar regolith.
We can see the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who is here to encourage us, and he is critically looking at the visuals.
Thank you very much, sir. And now from Eliana, Singapore, Dr. Mark is going to present.
जी हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO,
Distinguished delegates,
Shri S.
I'm Mark Lin,
Somnath.
co-founder and CEO of Eliana.
लैंडर मॉड्यूल पूरी तरह से सेफली और सॉफ्टली चंद्रमा के सतह पर लैंड हो चुका है। ये हम लोगों के लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है। हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि चंदा मामा दूर के, लेकिन अब हम ये कह सकते हैं कि चंदा मामा अपने घर के।
बहुत ही उम्दा। The hard work of the entire ISRO community has come to fruition.
Of satellites in small to large constellations. Our core product today is the multi-stage ignition compact Hole thruster, or in short, Music Engine. Music offers cost-effective performance, making it the industry standard for satellite platforms interested in compliance with de-orbiting regulations, enabling operations of satellites in constellations, and improvement of satellite performance.
Soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
Just like the melting pot of cultures and innovation in Singapore, Eliana features an international team who have had extended experience working on 7 different
I request our Honorable Prime Minister to address us and bless us. Thank you, sir.
Capability development within Singapore by training and mentoring space systems engineers of tomorrow through our internship programs.
मेरे प्यारे परिवारजनों,
we have contributed globally through the demonstration of our systems at various laboratories. This includes laboratories at ESA, Stanford, Imperial College London, and Kyushu Institute of Technology in Japan. We have also provided our systems and components to meet some of the frontier R&D needs of numerous research centers pursuing electric propulsion. Now, let me just spend a little bit of time speaking about our missions. We first made waves with the development and deployment of an ultra-low power Hole thruster. This was launched in January 2022 on SpaceX Transporter 3 mission. The system launch is officially the world's lowest power Hole thruster at just 10 watts and offers capability for ignition on demand. The satellite which hosted our system is also the world's smallest satellite to host a Hole effect thruster at just 2 U. Our next mission is actually in a couple of weeks' time, and it's an incredible honor for us to be in India now, since the launch will be on the PSLV. In this mission, a 12U satellite will demonstrate our music engine as a multimodal engine alongside other systems built internationally. As an international collaboration managed by Eliana Singapore, this cooperation involved the UK for the provision of the satellite bus, as well as Finland for the resistor jets paired with our Hole thruster. We are incredibly proud to be providing our engines to a local consortium made up of academic and industry entities that will be flying a small satellite demonstrator at very low Earth orbit. This endeavor aims to characterize the environment at VLEO and demonstrate capabilities for data acquisition in VLEO while compensating for drag using our low-power engines. Finally, we would like to share that we have made history with a UK consortium earlier this year by demonstrating the world's first Hole thruster to operate on water as a fuel. Eliana provided a critical enabling subsystem for the thruster tested, and it was demonstrated to operate nominally in Imperial College London and at the European Space Agency Propulsion Laboratory just a few months ago. Now, in conclusion, we'd like to take this opportunity at G20 SCLM to highlight that we are extremely keen on forging new partnerships internationally. We also like to explore new mechanisms or collaborative opportunities for us to provide our systems and components to sharpen the edge of your missions. I'm confident that we can go far together, and I'm looking forward to making meaningful partnerships on the sidelines of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, we now go on to India, Spain. May I invite Ms. Chandrayan to kindly make her presentation.
दक्षिण अफ्रीका में हूं, लेकिन हर देशवासी की तरह
There's also a video on the slide, so we'll play that video.
चंद्रयान महाअभियान पर भी लगा हुआ था।
Okay,
नया इतिहास बनते ही हर भारतीय जश्न में डूब गया। हर घर में उत्सव शुरू हो गया। हृदय से मैं भी अपने देशवासियों के साथ, अपने परिवारजनों के साथ इस उमंग और उल्लास से जुड़ा हुआ हूं।
Here is the video. Please, could you add?
मैं टीम चंद्रयान को, इसरो को और देश के सभी वैज्ञानिकों को जी जान से बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, जिन्होंने इस पल के लिए
This is the
वर्षों तक इतना परिश्रम किया।
of the space. Really, the situation regarding the space and the degrees that we are suffering every day more and more, we need to have a clear idea about what is going on. Really, the situation every day is more congested, and we need to know exactly what happened. The spatial awareness is one of the critical areas, and for that, we have development our surveillance radar that has the capability of the coverage of more than 2,000 kilometers, okay, and with very high accuracy in the detection. With this, we can perform a complete catalog about the things that has surrounding us, okay, and we can try to predict what will be the behavior in some extent. In this situation, we have an L-band radar, monostatic, with transmitter and receiver antennas oriented to the south area in a plane forming of 30 degrees. This radar is under operation from our Spanish Air Force from the end of the 1990s. That right now is under the operation of the Spanish Air Force, as I mentioned. This is a radar that is contributing to the AU-ASD network and is giving all the information to avoid any collision, to predict the and also to analyze what happened in the Really, we have a long company with a long history in radar application, and this is key for us. Also, we are in the space, in domain, in the navigation area, in the control, observation, and space tracking, and in Earth observation applications. In all of this, we are using the Earth observation, for instance, in the downstream. We are monitoring the change in the climate conditions. We are also checking and planning the emergencies and rescues happen, and just giving us as much information in the image and the processing that we can. With this, we can plan perfectly what is the situation of the disasters. In the navigation area, we are contributing in the GNSS infrastructure and the performance and the monitoring and detection.
Our approach of
also, we are planning to have, and we are working right now in Startical. Startical is a joint venture between Enaria and India, with a 50% of each one, that we are preparing a very big constellation with more than 250 satellites, just mainly focused in the BF and ADSB payload for ATM control.
Universally.
These are the payloads destined to avoid any misinformation during the transoceanic flights, and it's going to give also the possibility to save in the oils and the transit areas to minimize the time also for the flights.
All of humanity.
Yes, thank you very much for the time.
It will help moon missions.
Thank you very much, Madam. And with that,
in the future,
I would now invite from Satlantis, Spain,
I
Mr.
am
Guillermo
confident that all countries in the world, including those from the global south, are capable of achieving such feats. We can all aspire
distinguished
for the
guests,
moon
ladies and gentlemen,
and
good afternoon.
beyond.
My pleasure on behalf of Atlantis being present here.
मेरे परिवारजनों,
We will, my name is
Chandrayaan
Guillermo
महाअभियान
Director
के
of International
उपलब्धि
Business for the company, and we have
भारत की
a
उड़ान
3 minutes
को
journey, now less,
चंद्रमा
around
की
Atlantis
कक्षाओं
and
से
images
आगे
around the
जाएगी.
Earth. We come from the astrophysics, that's our DNA. We come from watching stars, you know, astrophysics. We stop at 3 a.m. watching from special phenomena, trying to understand what is happening up there, to watch the Earth, to look down. And that's the technology that Atlantis has developed, using technology for deep space employed for Earth observation. So we have developed an optical payload, high-resolution optical payload that is able to work in different spectral bands and able to work with its dimensions with small satellites, thanks to the hardware and to the software designed by Atlantis. Now we're providing full Earth observation solutions built around the core of the mission, the brain of the mission, that is the optical payload. in order to be able to transmit to the customer as a prime contractor the Earth observation strategy based on our knowledge of the obstacle. We are 100 employees company right now, a combination of private and public shareholders. As private shareholders, we have several oil and gas investors. As oil and gas sector needs to understand better and better the methane emissions. Space is one of the best assets to have a wide scanning, wide screening of methane emissions with detection and quantification. We're able to do this, configuring our sensor in a split channel and detecting methane with 1.65 microns. This is our portfolio of payloads. We have two payloads in the market right now, one under development. The smaller ones, 4 kilograms, GSD, around 2 meters. The 170, which is 80 centimeters, you saw a previous image in the previous slide. And IC300, which with a target of below 50 centimeters. When working with full turnkey solutions, full satellites for customers, we're working with a platform you can see on the screen on 16U CubeSat, microsat, and IC300. This is our technology roadmap. We are strong right now in the upstream, extending to MWIR and polarimetry. These are our missions. We are in our 4th mission right now. We launched our 2nd satellite some weeks ago with Transporter 8. And we have ahead 3 missions for next year on 16U CubeSats and on 2 microsats with different instruments on board for oil and gas and defense and security. And you can see an image of Suez Channel in Egypt. Thank you very much. Shukriya, I just want to share a thought on behalf of Atlantis. Some centuries ago, ocean and sea were granting hope for mankind. And probably today we're all here and good by a new hope, which is space. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shukriya.
Thank you, Adharaniya Pradhan Mantriji, for being part of our journey to this success.
Thank you very much to you, sir.
And
now
let me take this opportunity to thank
Mr. Rahul.
the people behind this mission. The project director of Chandrayaan-3 is here.
Hello everybody, this is Rahul Barru, the founder of PLD Space. It's a pleasure to be here in the G20 event. It's very proud to share with us our capabilities. So PLD Space is a small launcher company. We are developing simple and robust eco-friendly rockets. So we are selecting the very mature technologies in terms of engines, structures, avionics, ground equipment, operations and everything to do a very simple rocket to be operated and to develop an orbital class vehicle super, let me say, reliable, because we are understanding that we are not trying to improve the state of the art of the rocket. We are just trying to do it in a very simple way, in a very cost-effective way. I want to add also that it's eco-friendly. We are using green propellants.
The entire mission operations right from launch till landing happened flawlessly as per the timeline, and we became the 4th country to land, to demonstrate the soft landing onto the moon surface, and we became the first country to go to near to the south pole of the moon.
Vertically integrated company, so we manufacture everything in-house. We purchase the raw material and enter from one door of our workshop, and in the other door
I take this opportunity to thank navigation guidance
even the testing
and control
capacity,
team,
we have 100,000 square meters of ground
all the mainframe subsystems team who have brought success to this mission.
Systems,
I also take the opportunity to thank the Critical Operations Review Committee for thoroughly reviewing the mission operations right from launch till this date. The target was on spot because of the review process.
And a private.
I also thank the ISRO higher management, right from Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, and all the center directors and higher ISRO officials.
300 because
and
we are increasing
my
our
thanks to the
capability
Chandrayaan-3
from
project
manufacturing 2 or 3 rockets per year
spread
to
across the
manufacture
ISRO
30
centers. Thank you.
rockets per year. So our last milestone was our first launch attempt. Unfortunately, our demonstrator vehicle called Mira-1 commands out
to be part of Chandrayaan-3 and acting as mission director. I would like to thank each and every team member who has supported
from the private point
in carrying out all the mission operations flawlessly.
That was founded in 2011, 12 years of heritage.
I would like to thank my senior management, Chairman ISRO, Director URSC, my senior colleagues, and my
with a strong
team
support
members
with our national
for carrying out
government
and
and
supporting
the national
all the
space agency. So I think
carrying out in
with
proper
our
way.
project
Thank you
and
very
our
much.
colleagues at Spain, we are
Associate
warranting
Project
national
Director
level
Kalpana.
the capacity and the European level the capacity to launch something
This
in the
will remain
space.
the
So
most
stay
memorable
connected
and the
because
happiest
our
moment for
maiden
all
flight
of us,
will
for our
be,
team Chandrayaan-3.
in September, October this year. So thank you very much to everybody.
We have achieved our goal flawlessly.
And
From the day we started rebuilding our spacecraft after Chandrayaan-2 experience,
Limited,
it has been breathe in, breathe out Chandrayaan-3 for our team.
Works to be closer to
And
the podium.
starting from the reconfiguration to all the special tests and the simulations we have conducted meticulously, and this has been possible only because of our immense effort from our Chandrayaan-3 team, and of course with the guidance,
strategic partner, has been associated
with the guidance
with
from our chairman
for
ISRO, our
Indian
directors,
space
and
program
all our
for
experts. With all
almost
this, it
last
has been
5
possible.
decades.
Thank you, one and all.
HAL
Thank
has
you for
promoted
all the
ISRO
minutest help which has
for
been
all its
provided from
development
all the
projects,
areas
including
of
Chandrayaan-1,
departments.
Mars
Thank you,
orbiter
thank you.
mission, Chandrayaan-2, through atmospheric re-entry experiment test, pad apport test,
Chandrayaan-3 is a
escape
result of the
systems,
work done by
etc.
thousands of scientists, engineers, our staff and industries and support team across ISRO and other places, other institutions.
HAL has been supplying
And
critical
Shankaran has been the
structures,
lead
tankages,
of
satellite
the center
structures
which
for PSLV,
integrated all of these
GSLV,
efforts in the last
and
so many
LV&3
years.
launch vehicles.
So I request
We
him
have delivered
to
the
speak
biggest
on behalf
tank
of all
and
of you.
also the heaviest tank for cryogenic upgradation development program of ISRO. We are making critical hardware for the Gaganyaan project for both the unmanned and subsequently manned missions planned by ISRO. HAL is already supplying L40 integrated stages for the GSLV vehicle.
Thank you very much for the affection.
We have
that has
also
been
established
displayed today
dedicated facility for taking up stage
Today,
integration of
we have
PS2
achieved
and GS2 stages
what
of
we set out to
PSLV
achieve in
and
2019.
GSLV respectively.
It was delayed by about 4 years.
Further,
but we have
HAL
done
along
it.
with L&T will be realizing the
When
PSLV launch
Chandrayaan-3
vehicle
was
for
launched,
NSIL in the coming years.
after the
This
separation of
challenging
the
project,
spacecraft
once
from
accomplished,
launch
will go a
vehicle, I
long
said,
way in establishing
I
the
will
role of
speak
industry
the rest
in
of the
taking
things
up bigger,
after the
complex,
soft landing.
end-to-end realization
So
projects
here I will take
for the Indian space
couple of minutes to
programs.
tell
HAL has also established
the tremendous
the
amount of
cryogenic rocket
effort
manufacturing facility
that has been put
in Bangalore. We have commenced the
by the
pre-production
entire project
activities
team.
and
When
are
I say
hopeful
project
of
team,
rolling
it is
out the
not just
development
only
modules of the engine
the project
in a
director
couple
and
of months'
associate
time.
project director. Of course, they are the face of the project. They have been
The
living,
facilities
sleeping, eating,
with
breathing
aerospace
Chandrayaan for
division
the
have
last
been
4 years.
augmented continuously over time to manufacture
They have been
structures
supported
and
by
propellant tanks
such a
of
large
different
number
types
of
and
people,
sizes, different materials
particularly
and varied
in the
complexities.
navigation,
The manufacturing excellence
guidance
of the division
and
is
control
visible in production
area,
of spaceworthy
propulsion
large
system.
components and assemblies
This
with
area,
stringent dimensional
the amount
and
of
quality
effort that has been
requirements.
put by people, the number
The
of simulations
altitude of
that have
lander
been
from
done, the number of reviews they have gone through,
HAL has been
the
the
amount of
mainstay partner
criticism
from the
they
era of
faced
experimentation
and
to the present
overcome
era
that.
of commercialization.
It is
We hope that this journey will
as a person
continue
who has been
and
watching
HAL
this
will remain to
for
serve
the
the
last
Indian space
4 years
industry in
along
every
with
way
them.
possible. Thank
My
you.
heart
Jai
feels,
Hind.
my heart goes out for them. The amount of effort is
Thank
tremendous.
you very much, sir. And now may I invite
That is
Larsen
what
and Toubro.
ISRO is all about. That is what our
Lakshmesh
organization
is
has
going to now
taught us to
present.
do. Now today this success
Good afternoon, sir.
has put us even more higher
thanks for
responsibility,
the
as the Honorable
honor
Prime
to
Minister
be
was
here
telling,
in the G20
because we have set the bar now so high. Nothing less than
80 years of strong customer focus and world-class quality.
Nothing less
L&T
spectacular
has
than this
unmatched
is
capabilities
going to be
across
inspiring for
technology,
any of
engineering,
us in the
construction,
future.
high-tech
So as the
manufacturing,
Honorable Prime Minister
and,
mentioned,
of course,
we
maintains
will
leadership
be now
positions
looking at
across
putting
all
the
its
man in
businesses.
space, putting a
In the domain of
spacecraft
high-tech
around
manufacturing,
Venus,
L&T has
and activities
sectors,
are going
power,
on for
nuclear power,
few years,
defense,
and
of course,
this success
aerospace.
today will inspire us and will spur
L&T
us
has
to
been
take those
partner
efforts
to ISRO
even more
over 5
strongly,
decades,
so that
and across
we will
practically
make our
every
country
domain
proud
of
again and again and
the
again.
upstream,
Thank you very
midstream,
much
and
for
downstreams.
every one of you
When it
who
comes
have
to the
directly
upstream,
or indirectly
Larsen & Toubro has
participated in this
been
mission, encouraged
scaling up
us,
from being a tier 1 to
intentionally or
super tier 1 to a
unintentionally
complete system
helped us
in launch
in
vehicle
all for
domain.
every one of
Of
you.
with
A big thank
colleagues,
you, because
HAL
even
we
even
are going to do the PSLV.
Casual remark, an unintended point.
In terms of satellite, also we are
can
scaling
help
up from
a person who is
subsystems to system
striving
to
to reach a goal.
structure.
The person who is making that remark may not have meant it that
in
way,
terms of
but sometimes it can ignite
we have been able to
that's why
establish
I said
a lot of ground
that even
systems
unintended
and
help
communication,
is
navigation, and GSATs on
is very,
daily
very,
basis.
welcome, and
of
we are
course,
very,
in
very thankful
downstream
for
LNG,
that.
along with its
Thank you,
group
Team ISRO,
companies,
for
have
supporting
been
all of us.
establishing
The amount
smart
of
cities
affection
and
we
other
received
smart solutions.
when this solution
you all
came
are
into
fired.
final stage. The number of people who gave us
Going
confidence
forward,
that
we look
nothing
at
can go wrong,
creating
and
an
this is
end-to-end
going to be
capability
successful. The amount,
across
in fact, I
the
was not
space domain.
that much confident because we have seen couple of times
in all the
this is
streams
going
of
to be
our
I know very well
and
as a person who has been doing in this couple of times domain for 36 years. I know because I know very well as a person who has been doing in this domain for 36 years. I know many of them. There are thousands of things that any of them could reflect and go wrong on derail. But people are so many of them so happy to see this effort and they want. The effort we have not that we are so they know that we are so happy to see this effort and they want us to very much for us not that we are love and they know that we are going to continue to want us to do our best. So thank you very much. Flag fly ISRO's as well as India's flag fly high. Thank you very much.
In India and certainly we do believe that it's through alliances that great things can be achieved. And L&T partners with domestic, global, governmental,
Honorable Prime Minister called me and conveyed his greetings to each one of you and your family for the wonderful work you did in ISRO.
Thank you very much.
So thanks are to him for the support that he is giving to us for missions like Chandrayaan-1, 3 and the missions that are in the offing. I think that's a great word of comfort that we are receiving for pursuing the inspirational work that we are doing for the nation. I want to tell you, and I want to thank you also for each and everyone who prayed with us in the last many days, who wanted this success to happen in ISRO. I thank all those people all around the country and maybe beyond the country for their blessings and wishes and affection that he has given to each one of us for doing this work for the last so many years. I want to specifically thank some senior people who have been standing with us, especially the name of Kiran Kumar sir.
Green parks from our facility. We have installed 50 solar and wind
Mr. Kamalakar.
So we're also supplying the green energy parks.
Sri Koteshwara.
Glimpse of composite facility. You see all the facilities have been available at our shop.
So much.
Right from
they were
cold
part of the
storage
team to help them to
C-scan, the newest,
get the confidence and get the reviews done to ensure that nothing goes
the largest clean
with
room
any
we
mistakes.
have to accommodate the large launch vehicle parks. And largest autoclave we have.
And of course, this is not the work of us alone. This is a work of a generation of ISRO leadership and ISRO scientists.
Including the
and this is a journey we started in Chandrayaan-1, continued in Chandrayaan-2, and Chandrayaan-2 craft is still working and doing a lot of communication work with us. And all the team that contributed to building Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2 should be remembered and thanked while we celebrate Chandrayaan-3. And this is an incremental progress and definitely a great, huge one it is. And thank you so much for all the support and work that you have done.
We are manufacturing various payload fairing today. If you can see, the largest is around 10 meter height. The second is 3 meter height. So we will be the largest payload fairing manufacturer for various companies. Proud to say to contribution for ISRO as well, as I mentioned, including payload fairing, we are supporting the equipment-based route and also on the antenna structures, adapters. Some of the other programs we do with composites on the engine side, we have on the